All right, so this video is part 2 of the series of how to build your personal brand. And we're gonna talk about your why. So to recap the first video, we talked all about your brand essence, and you came up with 3 adjectives that you want to exude within all of your content and visuals and the feelings that you want people to feel. So you thought through the experience that you want your target audience to feel when they come across your content. So the second part is your why. All right, so people have an intimate desire to build relationships, and stories are a powerful tool in human connection. So the best way to humanize your brand is to infuse your most authentic self and have a compelling brand story. So I'm gonna put this here so you can think about it, but the brand story framework is gonna come in a future video, so make sure you come back for that. But essentially, your brand story is just a narrative of facts that must inspire your emotional reaction. So what this brand story does is it allows you to tell your story, so it gives a little bit of background, and then to share your credibility and why you are the person that is, an expert in this and can help them achieve their desired self or solve their problem. And it also meets your target audience where they are and evokes that emotion that they need to feel to finally pull the trigger and, hire you or buy your product or whatever, because your product, your service, you can solve their problem. So we'll get into that later. And also with the brand story, it's such a great tool because you don't feel salesy when you're using it. All you're doing is you are consistently telling your story over and over. You'll sound like a broken record, but it's fine because most people, like a lot of people, will miss different, if you put it on IG stories or something. So that is something we'll get to in a future video. So make sure you come back. But your why, okay. So let me get you here. Your why is actually what is at the core of everything that you do in your business. Why did you start your business? Why did you start selling the product that you do? And you need to be very, very clear on this, because if you're not clear on your why, it's going to show. It doesn't mean that you have to consistently be telling that over and over and over, but you will be amazed that if you are unclear on your why, it's going to show through all of your content. So the visual aesthetic piece of your branding is so easy, and it becomes so clear once you are clear on your why. And that is a huge thing I see with people, where they ask me like how to create a consistent IG feed or how to create a consistent visual branding. And the biggest thing that I find after talking to them is they're just clear on why they're doing this in the first place. And just to make money is not strong enough. So the thing that you need, let's think about like how to figure this out. Your why, like, is it to give, freedom in, empowering women to create their own business? Or is it helping people become healthy? Or is it teaching fitness coaches how to coach other people? Sorry. Be really clear on these. And then it's like, think about like your upbringing and your life experiences. What inspired you to start your company or to sell your product? What are you the go-to person for? And then start piecing together the patterns and see like what actually comes up, because more than likely there are going to be so many overlapping themes once you really start to dig deep. So for me, a little background and also to give you an example is I've always been the resource to my family and friends. Anything that I think that they would enjoy or to make their lives better, I would send them. They've gotten a million different links of whether it is like products I think that they would like, or something that made me think of them, or an article I wanted them to read, or something that we had talked about and this was like an answer to their question. Anything like that. The second thing is I've always been the person for like a go-to person for them for visual aesthetics. So whether that's my sister calling me for, interior design stuff, or helping, or like I used to do fashion styling before I did brand coaching. And if you think about it, the fashion styling or the brand coaching is really just a much deeper version of that. And so whether it's helping people find the perfect thing that's going to make them feel super confident, Or the third thing is I've always been the go-to person for like advice and helping people gain clarity on their issues that they're currently dealing with. So I'm great at like sitting down and listening and being able to hear what they're saying, but also read between the lines and really give them the advice that they need to take action and solve their problem. So with all that being said, I really realized that my why is to help people evolve into their highest potential, whether that's through personal development and mindset techniques, which is a huge part in my whole entire branding program and company. That's also why it's so much more sustainable than other ones, because we really get to the core of you and we get you clear on yourself, because that's really the most important part. You have to show up fully and authentically as you before you can even, help other people. And that's how your brand can stay consistent. So everything that I do comes back to my why. And the next thing is you want to ask yourself the hard questions. So the first thing is, would you follow yourself? Second thing is, are you providing value? And third thing is, are you interesting? So I know that they can be kind of harsh questions, but would you follow yourself? Are you that interesting? There are so many people out there now. We have such short attention spans. You need to be providing value. That is one of the biggest mistakes I see in clients and other people, that they're just not providing enough value, especially in the beginning. So if you think about it in the 80-20, you do want to share 20% of your lifestyle because people do want to know who you are and people are curious, so capitalize on that part. But 80% of that needs to be value. Why should someone care what you have to say? What's in it for them? Why are they going to benefit from it? But you also need to be interesting with those things. Be interesting with how you provide the information. Are you fun to watch? Are you boring? Are you monotone? That should not, people don't want to watch that. And then, is your content fun? Does it keep them reading? Do you structure your content in a way that's going to hook and captivate your audience and then educate them and then activate them to do something? So that's a whole other framework too of how to structure your content to be interesting and to provide value. So your personal brand is a full-time job. You have to realize that consistency is key. So the things that you need to first think about is your brand purpose, and that's your why. So ask yourself these questions. First, what do you believe in so deeply that you've started your business? Or if you're a network marketer, what do you believe in so deeply that you are now selling this other person's product? Second, what is your frustration? What makes you compassionately angry and compelled to act? So if you're a little confused on that, for me, going back to my why, helping people evolve into their highest potential, I get really frustrated when people don't see their value, when people are just cogs in a machine and they don't think for themselves and they haven't been taught a lot of these mindset techniques to really actually evolve into their highest potential, into who they're supposed to be, and not just, working a 9-to-5 when they hate it and they're complaining all the time. So it's my frustration is when people are like that. So what can I do to help them actually live up to their potential? Third thing is, what is the issue you want to solve? 4, what is the frustration you want to eliminate? 5, what is the challenge you want to defeat with your clients? So if you're a fitness coach, are you wanting to help them get into better shape and defeat their sugar habit? Think of things like that. Then think about your upbringing and your past experiences. What are you the go-to person for your friends and family? And then write down everything that you can think of and ask yourself if there's a pattern. More than likely there is. And then you want to take all the information above and craft your vision and your mission statement. So your vision statement is a vision of the future that doesn't yet exist. And your mission statement is actionable steps to create that vision or future. So your why will set certain expectations and your core values for your brand. So then with your core values, you then want to identify 5 that you consistently show up on. Examples are honesty, customer service, loyalty, etc. So anyways, I would love for you to do those things. Comment your why below. I would love to hear. And then if you have any questions, send me a DM.